My training was in England and Australia, and ultimately I achieved a PhD in reproductive physiology, and it was while I was working in Australia that I first came into contact with human IVF at the University of Adelaide, and it was based from that exposure back in the early 80s that enabled me to move into working clinically in IVF full-time. In terms of organizations, I've probably been involved in all the major societies involved in our business, whether it's the European Society of Human Reproduction and Embryology, or obviously the American Society of Reproductive Medicine. Those are the major groups that I belong to, but also I belong to several smaller scientific groups as well, and have worked quite closely with embryological groups here in the US to help standardize the approach to technologies in this country. Educationally, I took a fairly roundabout route, originally training in physiology and zoology with a view to move on to vet practice of all things. Having decided to stay in research, I got involved in reproductive biology, actually in cattle, sheep, and that was background for my PhD. And at the time, back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, obviously Louise Brown had just been born, and there was much excitement about the whole process of in vitro fertilization as a therapy for humans. And it was that excitement which drew me into this business. So I've really been involved since the very early days of this process, in vitro fertilization. But I took the jump from the animal model, reproductively speaking, to the humans, which I've never looked back.